KENWEB was invited to present itself and its work at the second African Conference of Science Journalists, which was held in Nairobi this mid-October. The conference brought together over 100 scientists, journalists and policymakers to discuss how science reporting can be improved to convey pertinent health, agriculture and environmental messages to a wide audience. Laura Mukhwana presented Jointly Thinking the Future, a participatory approach to knowledge development and dissemination.
And I'm here to make a presentation on the approach that the Kenya Wetlands Biodiversity Research Team uses for information and knowledge dissemination. So who are we? We are the Kenya Wetlands Forum, Kenya Wetlands Biodiversity Research Group, and basically we are multidisciplinary. Like when you talk about multidisciplinary, we are a group, a consortium of experts. We have people dealing with mammals, people dealing with water, we have people dealing with plants and other like animals like frogs, herpetologists, we have conservationists and people who are specializing in carbon. And we as KENWEB produce reliable scientific information on biodiversity values, ecosystem services, and the well-being of people dependent on wetlands. So how we do this is by empowering the local communities, by constructing and sharing knowledge with the local stakeholders. This is the knowledge that we have gotten from our research work. And then we make that knowledge available through various mediums in various formats to policymakers and other decision makers. So we make them available in various formats. And the research we do is very unique. Our research is not theoretical, it's very action-based. Like we deal with wetlands. So when we go to a wetland, we want to know where the water comes from, how much is the water, what functions does it perform, and for who benefits from these functions. We want to know how to maintain and improve the service delivery. We want to know what happens when there's a change, who benefits, who loses. For example, in our wetlands, most of the wetlands are affected by, in Kenya in particular, are affected by dams. So when dam construction, so when a dam wants to come up, we want to know when this happens, who is going to benefit, who is going to lose, and how the system can be maintained. So our research is very action-oriented. Then our research is participatory. We involve the local communities in the information collection. We get the knowledge that we have based on experience that we have gotten from our research from various floodplains and deltas from all over Africa. We've come to realize that local knowledge is very important. The indigenous communities have a lot of knowledge because they're the ones who have lived in those wetlands for years. They know how the wetlands function. They know how the wetlands have changed over time. They know how they can cope with extreme conditions. So we respect local knowledge. So we listen to them. We respect the knowledge that they have, and that once you do that, you show them that you respect the knowledge. They explain to you and you understand how the system works. So now we combine the local knowledge and the research knowledge, the scientific knowledge that we gain from our research work. And we have various feedback sessions where we explain to for example, we have the community explaining to us. Then we also explain to them what we have found in their places. We currently have 4 research areas in Kenya. That is the Tana River Delta, Loboi Swamp in Baringo County. And then we also have Umani Springs, that is in Kibwezi. And we have Laikipia County. So now once we have been working in these areas for now, this is probably like the 3rd year, but in some areas like the Tana Delta, we have been working there for more than 5 years. So we get, in these feedback sessions, we explain to them what we have found and they explain to us what they know about the system. And this has been very successful. Like in the Tana Delta, we got to know about the existence of some forests which were previously unknown because of this methodology of involving the communities. So once you gain their trust, they show you things. We take transect walks with them, they show us where the resources are, because what we are currently doing in the Tana Delta is mapping the resources of the Delta. And we have found that when we involve the community, they own the results because they know that they were part of the process. And that means once they own the results, we have empowered the community because now they know how they can better manage their wetlands. They know the changes that are taking place in the wetlands. So we have found that participatory research is a very effective method. So how do we do this? We have come to know that, as scientists, we are basically scientists and we are a research group. We have come to know that journals are not the best way because it's only scientists who read journals. And also scientists only talk to scientists, they write for other scientists, they read only what other scientists have written, and nobody else would want to access that. And also scientists even marry other scientists. So journals are not very effective. So what do? We make clever noise, we share beautiful images, and we come to realize that we need to leave the conventional way of doing things, or sharing the data, or sharing the information that we've gotten from our research work. So we have left the ivory tower, we are now dealing with what is going on the ground. So how do we do this? We have found very unique and different ways of sharing our information, the information that we get from our research work, and one such way is videos and documentaries. We have to make it fun. We have produced several videos of our work. We have the participatory science in the tunnel, which we will show with permission from the chair. We will show it after this. It's a brief documentary. We have, you'll see them, the Wild Wetlands Day celebrations, which we held in Tana Delta in 2012. The Seatoma Initiative and various other documentaries. And we have various social media platforms where we share information regularly with people who are on those sites. We have their Facebook page, we have a Twitter page, and we also have a website. The link to the website is down there. We have organized various conferences. This year we had an African Deltas conference, which was held in Dar es Salaam. And this conference brought together various researchers and students and experts from who are dealing with floodplains and deltas from across Africa. So we brought them together and they shared information, they shared experiences. And this conference also had a decision makers session. The last session was a summary for all decision makers. And we had all the information, everything that had been shared, all the information that we got from the participants during the conference. It was summarized and shared with the decision makers. And one highlight of this conference is that the Tana River County Governor, Honorable Hussein, was there in the conference, and he actively participated in the sessions, and he was also there for the wrap-up session. And also in that wrap-up session we had invited other decision makers, like the Minister for Environment in Tanzania. So we have local celebrations. In 2012 we organized a celebration to mark the Wild Wetlands Day in Lake Moa, which is in the Tana Delta. And in this session, like from the pictures that you can see, we had various activities organized. We basically taught the communities, like made them aware of what we do as KENWEB. We had various sessions, like, we have water experts, so we had people who are interested, we divided ourselves. We had people who are going to explain to the community about mammals, about water quality measurement, about about mammals, all those other things. So it was very interesting because the community had never been to an event like that, and they were asking questions. It was very interesting to see how they were asking questions. We had, apart from all these activities, we had various games and fun and sports, like there was a boat riding competition, and there was a prize. So it was very interesting, and we got to teach the communities about the work that we do. We have held various exhibitions, like between 2012 and 2011 we organized an exhibition on the Tana Delta, which was held at Alliance Francaise. Then it moved to the National Museums of Kenya. And basically this exhibition is just showing the values of the Tana Delta, the landscapes that are found there, the people who live there, what do they do, the threats that the Tana faces, and the actions that we can take to mitigate against these threats. And it was why we organized this exhibition is just to show people in a simple way, as in the values, because it's much easier to show someone a picture than to start give them a document or maybe 100 pages and tell them that this is all the values of the Tana Delta. This is a much easier way. And the Delta was the exhibition targeted all audiences. We organized school trips. We had school children coming there from secondary and primary school to view the exhibition. We had decision makers who were present there, especially at the opening of the exhibition. Then we have various newsletters. From the beginning of this year, we produced 2 newsletters, Papyrus 1 and 2. And I have copies. I have some copies of Papyrus 2. If you want, you can meet me after the presentation or after the session. And so in these newsletters, which target everyone, they're very simple to understand. We basically update people on what we're doing. So it's a very effective method. Then we have, I think, one of the latest ways that we have come up with to share information is the games. For example, we have the water game, we have the Mpanga game, and we're in the process of developing the Tana Delta game, the Tana River game. So these games are very effective because they create awareness about the issues that are on the ground. Like, for example, in the Mpanga game, that has been developed based on the Rwenzori region in Uganda. It has 6 players, and by the time the game is over, everyone knows that this action has an effect on the system in this manner. You know, like by the time we played it for the first time, and by the end of session 1, the fisherman downstream didn't have any fish because all the fish are dead because of the pollution upstream. So it's a very clear method. It's awesome. It's very nice because it shows people all these things. It becomes very clear. And the good thing about this game, it's not only it can be played by people at all levels, at the community levels. It can be played by students. It can be played by decision makers. So it's very effective. Then we have various outreaches to schools. We know that like the future generation, we believe in the future generation, that the future scientists. So we target them a lot. We organize primary school green classes, and in the picture there, those are some students who attended such a course, which was in Laikipia. They camped out for 4 days and they were taught on biodiversity and the wildlife in Laikipia County. We have secondary school science clubs, like in Alliance Girls High School, in the French school, which we have helped to establish. And then we also provide technical support to civil society and advocacy groups such as the Kenya Wetlands Forum. Then also to disseminate our work, we write articles in various popular magazines such as the Swara magazine, which is a magazine by the East African Wildlife Society, and also Komba magazine. Komba magazine is a magazine by the Wildlife Clubs of Kenya, which has features and articles on various environmental and wildlife issues. So in that copy, the picture that you see there is the first issue of this year, which was dedicated to the Tana Delta, and which KENWEB produced. Most of the articles there were written by KENWEB. So that is what we do. Thank you. So.